Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, to get straight in and answer the main question that you asked there at the end, certainly what you're describing here does sound like you went through child abuse, both on the physical and emotional level as well. And the very fact that it still haunts you today would certainly suggest that what you experienced was child abuse. So, physically hitting you and locking you outside of the house are what we might call physical abuse, whereas the making you feel like you are imperfect and making you feel like you are responsible for your mother's potential death might be what we call emotional abuse as well. So, this is two types of abuse that you're experiencing here. And today, this has left you feeling anxious when you hear yelling and shouting, even if it's on the TV. As also, you feel like everything is your fault as well. So the fact that these things are still haunting you today really do suggest that what you experienced was abuse. And now you're experiencing negative consequences of what you have faced as a child. And it's almost like you're experiencing the symptoms that people with post-traumatic stress disorder would experience as well. So this could be something to explore as well. What you went through was not acceptable. So you should not feel like you are in any way to blame for this. It's not acceptable treating children in this kind of way. However, it's also understandable that after the people that you love so much, your parents, your family, they made you believe like everything was your fault. And as a child, naturally, you're going to believe what they say because you respect your parents. But alhamdulillah, I want to assure you that there are treatments available to help people who go through the kinds of feelings that you have based on trauma that they might have experienced as a child. And this can help you to work on these negative thoughts and feelings that you're having today. It seems like you're having some kind of unhealthy thought patterns which need treating to support you in overcoming them and living without this anxiety that you have in your life and these negative feelings towards yourself and these feelings of self-blame. So I would highly recommend that you do seek the support, seek the help of a psychologist or a counsellor, and they'll be able to help you and work with you in ways that can help you to overcome this past trauma that you experienced and help you to find more adaptive ways to manage the current feelings that you're having. So I'd recommend that you do go forward and seek this kind of help because it's something that's still having an impact on you today. So you will need to have some more kind of intensive treatment really to address issues that have been going on for such a long time. And it will take a number of sessions to get through this, to overcome past trauma and to correct these negative thought patterns that you have now. So you do need to also keep in mind when you go for these kind of treatments that it does take a long time, especially because it's been going on for so long and it can take time to overcome these difficulties. And you will need to be patient, but inshallah, if you stick at it, then gradually you'll be able to overcome these difficulties that you currently face. And there are a number of different ways that counsellors or psychologists can help you to work through these difficulties. So you can be rest assured right now that there are many different ways, different effective methods to help people who have been through the same kind of things that you have to overcome these difficulties and live more healthy and happy lives. So a counsellor will assess your situation and choose a method that best suits your needs, as well as selecting a method that you're most comfortable with as well, because it might be that you expect something different as well. So the counsellor will work with you on selecting the best method that's best for you given your own background. So it might be that they try a technique that will actually take you right back to address the actual trauma that you faced at the time and explore the thoughts and the feelings that you had at the time and almost seek to adjust the way you felt at the time. But then there are other treatments that really just focus on the present feelings and thoughts in the moment now and treats you using these methods as well. And this can be really helpful, especially with things like anxiety, as well as adjusting negative thoughts you're having, like the self-blame thoughts that you're having as well. Specifically, like believing that everything's your fault. And the counsellor can help you to work on these thoughts and these feelings and exchange these negative thoughts for more positive ones. And it's also very common as well for counsellors to teach relaxation techniques as well to help manage these symptoms of anxiety that you're experiencing as well. So these relaxation techniques can be really effective in helping manage the physical symptoms of anxiety. as well. But in the meantime, you can be focusing on keeping close to Allah, keeping Allah in mind all the time, reading the Quran, making dhikr, making dua, and really just finding solace in the remembrance of Allah. And this can be a really good way to treat anxiety, especially the kind of anxiety that you're having. And I can remind you of a surah in the Quran, Surah 13, ayat number 28, where Allah tells us, "Those who have believed and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah, unquestionably by the remembrance of Allah, hearts are assured." So that's just to really reassure you that if you remember Allah all the time, then you'll find this sense of peace inside and this sense of relaxation by remembering Allah, and that can help you with the symptoms of anxiety that you're having as well. So we can kind of apply the Islamic perspective to this as well, alongside any psychological treatments that you might inshallah be able to get as well. But like I said, I would highly recommend that you do go forward and get some assistance with overcoming the previous trauma that you've experienced, as well as the physical, the psychological and physical symptoms that you're experiencing now as well. May Allah bring you ease with what you're going through and help you to overcome this emotional trauma that you have experienced in the past and that you're experiencing today. May Allah make it easy for you to overcome that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.